Have you ever woken up after a full night's sleep? You did everything right, and you still feel like your body is running on 2% battery. I've been there, and sometimes I still am. It just depends on my routines. So for years, for decades really, I spent every night for a very long time having a glass of wine, if not two or three, thinking that I was resting. And I soon realized that I wasn't resting. What I was doing was numbing my sympathetic nervous system, my fight and flight. And that's not healthy. You know, I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, heart racing, all of those things. If you're in midlife, you know what I'm talking about. So today, I want to talk about 7 types of sleep that I've read about that will help you not just rest your body, but rest your soul, because that's what we need. Hi, I'm Jules, and this is my channel, Rise with Jules. And I talk about all things midlife, trauma, addiction, menopause, midlife, and how they all get messy when they're all put in the same pot. And they quite often are for many women. So let's get started. And I hope that if this video or any other video that you watch resonates with you, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can reach more women. So why is this feeling of tired, always tired, hitting us so hard now? Well, it's like the perfect storm. You're going through perimenopause, or you're going through menopause, or you have a lot of other things on the go. Maybe you've had trauma in the past, or you're still dealing with trauma now. All of that stuff is like the perfect storm. When we are dealing with trauma, we are in hypervigilance, and the sympathetic nervous system is always looking for the next big thing to happen, the next big fire that we have to put out. And so let's get real. A lot of us try to fix that buzzing sound, that constant nagging in the back of our heads with a glass of wine. And when you're in midlife, that glass of wine that maybe didn't bother your sleep or your rest when you were younger is going to affect you differently now. That's the hormones. It's hormones, unfortunately. It's a lack of estrogen, progesterone. It's all of that. Alcohol is the thief of all of that, and it's just a reality. And so it steals your REM sleep, and it keeps you in that sympathetic nervous system, that fight and flight constantly. We need to be in the parasympathetic nervous system in order to get the sleep that's going to make us feel rested when we wake up, that's going to make us feel like we can tackle the day, take on the world. And there are ways that we can work on improving getting both the physical sleep and the sleep for our soul. So I'm actually going to read from my notes right now because I want to get this right. Because I used to think that one of these types of sleep would be enough in order to wake up fully rested and ready to tackle the day. But I was wrong. We need all 7 of these. Physical sleep. Yes. It's also just movement that doesn't feel like a chore. Mental. For the brain fog, the to-do list that won't stop looping, going over and over and over again. Sensory, especially in midlife. We get overstimulated so easily. The lights, the noise, the cell phones, the scrolling, all of that stuff. Creative. When you feel like you've got nothing left, to give to your business and your passions. Emotional. This is the big one for us strong women. It's the rest that you get when you stop pretending you're fine and just become authentic. Social. Choosing the people who fill your cup and saying no to the ones who drain it. Spiritual. Reconnecting with your why beyond just being a fixer for everybody else. So which one hit home for you? Now remember, we need all 7 of them. And that takes maybe going inward and taking a look at what's filling your cup right now. What are you doing to get back your peace? So how do we actually do this without drinking or without other types of numbing habits that keep us in the sympathetic fight and flight nervous system? We need to find ways to tell our brain that it's safe to stop. And how I do that is by journaling. And I use my Breathe journal. I created it because I needed it. And it's a guided journal that will ask me every day how I'm feeling physically and how I'm feeling emotionally and what needs my attention. And what that does for me is it's able to allow me to drop the trauma, to drop the hormone-induced anxiety, to drop all of the things that are keeping me in the fight and flight. And it gives me a release. It brings me into the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, and it gives me peace. And I now, over the last year actually, post-surgery, have started journaling twice a day. I journal in the evenings as well. I journal in the morning to start my day. I journal in the evenings now to help me get that sleep where I'm going to wake up feeling rested, because I'm getting anything and everything out of my head that's going to cause me to not get a good night's sleep. So if you're tired of hitting that wall and you're feeling exhausted every morning, even after a full night's sleep, because we all know midlife women are not getting full night's sleep. So on the nights that you are getting a full night's sleep, if you're still waking up exhausted, maybe don't automatically blame it on the fact that the last few nights you didn't sleep. Maybe look at the 7 ways to get a good night's sleep and try to incorporate them into your life. I really truly believe that they'll make a difference. They're making a difference in my life. Again, life gets lifey and we don't always do all the things that we need to do when we find ourselves at night in bed scrolling on the phone. Guilty. But I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. But take those 7 steps that I mentioned and see if it helps, see if it works. And I would absolutely love to hear from you if you do start incorporating these things into your life. Come back to the video and share your comments, or share your comments now. Tell me what you thought of the video, whether you agree or disagree, and what you do to get a better night's sleep where you're waking up rested. Even, because sleeping for 8 hours and still feeling exhausted is wrong. So please, I would love to hear from you. And if you liked the video, please consider liking it, clicking subscribe, and sharing it with anybody that you think it would resonate with.